Hello brewers out there, this is Chris Jackson with Winemaker TV. If this is your first time here, please hit the subscribe button and the little bell next to it so you'll get notifications every time I come out with a new brew. And it is brewing day. If you like beer, if you like wine, if you like cider, this is the place for you. Today I'm going to be making a pale ale. This will be my first time ever brewing beer, so stay tuned. I'm doing all I do is here's a 1 gallon kit, so I got a brewer's best 1 gallon pale ale kit. So they come with instructions. You'll need 1.5 gallons of water, which I've already started heating up over here. It needs to get to 150 to 170 degrees, so I already got that started. So let's have a look at what this kit's got in it. We have a muslin bag because we'll be steeping some specialty grains. And here's the specialty grains: some crushed caramel, some priming sugar. Priming sugar is when you go to bottle. I don't have kegs, so I don't force carbonation. So you have to do bottle conditioning, and that's what the priming sugar is. Priming sugar starts up the yeast again, so the carbon dioxide gets mixed in with the beer and have a carbonation. And you'll need a 10 quart brew pot, a thermometer, at least a 2 gallon fermenting jug, and I got mine with sanitizer and all that in there. We're getting all this equipment really good and sanitized. You need a thermometer, already got it sanitized, and a big spoon, also sanitized. And see what else we got in here. We have 1 pound and 4 ounces of dry malt extract. This is an extract brewing kit, so we will not be sparging or anything like that at the grains. You have your yeast. Today we'll be using a Safale US 5 that came with it. And you have your hops. You have your Galena hop, you have your cluster hop, and your Chinook. So as soon as this gets up to 150 to 170 degrees, we'll start steeping our specialty grains. Okay, while that water is warming up, I'm going ahead and transferring the specialty grains, the crushed caramel, into the muslin bag, and we'll tie it off. And when it gets up to temperature that we need, about 150 to 170 degrees, we'll let this steep. Alright, so we got it all in there. It says do a loose knot. Alright, as soon as this water gets up to 170 degrees, we'll let it steep. Alright, we are at 150 degrees, so I will place in the specialty grains now, and we will let this steep for 20 minutes and regulate this. Keep an eye on the temperature really close, because if it gets over 165 to 170, the enzymes change in the grains and it will release a lot of tannins and will be a real bitter beer. So we really have to keep an eye on this temperature from now on. So we can't go anywhere. So we'll let this steep for 20 minutes and we'll be right back. Alright, our 20 minutes are up, and we're going to remove our our grains that have been steeping for 20 minutes. Let it drain without squeezing it. And then we're going to crank this up and get it to a gentle boil. And once it gets up to boiling, we're going to start, after boiling for 15 minutes, we're going to add our Galena hops. Now this is what that is referred to now as a beginning of a good wort. Wort is the term for unfermented beer. So we want to now get this thing up to a rolling boil. So when this starts rolling boil and boil for 15 minutes, we'll be back to add our first round of hops. Now that it's up to a gentle boil, I was wrong earlier, we're not going to add the hops, we're going to add the malt extract. We got to keep this stirring so it doesn't go to the bottom and scorch. So we'll pour it in. This is the fork. That's the 4 ounce. Give it a stir. Now we'll add our pound. You got to be careful with this. Keep an eye on it, because if it boils over, it will create a big, stinky, sticky mess. So you have to make sure you don't have what they call boilovers. All right, let's get this stirred up and let it get back to boiling, and then we'll let it boil for 15 minutes and we'll add some hops to it. We'll be right back. All right, 15 minutes have passed, and now it's time to put in 3 grams of Galena hops, and then this will boil for 35 minutes. Okay, we've added it. Give it a good stir. Set your timer for 35 minutes and we'll be right back. Okay, our wort has been boiling for 50 minutes now. It is time to add our Chinook hops, 3 grams of Chinook. And then this will boil for 5 minutes, and then we'll add our final batch of hops. So we'll be right back after I stir these in. All right, 5 minutes have passed, and now it's time to add our final hops of the boil. It'll be cluster. We'll add these and boil for 5 more minutes, and then we'll have to chill our wort down and get ready to pitch some yeast. Alright, our wort has finished boiling, so I'm going to go stick it in an ice bath, and I've killed the heat on it. I'm going to stick it in an ice bath in the sink to get it chilled down to 70 degrees. Then we'll add it to this brew bucket here. Pitch, it says it's just a teaspoon of the yeast, so I'm going to save this and use it on some cider in the future. So we'll chill this down, add it, and pitch the yeast, and we'll be done. We'll be done for our beer. So if you like what you see here, please hit the subscribe button and the little bell. And if you wanted to try this on your own, down in the description will be a link to this kit and some equipment that'll get you started. This is Chris with Freedom Farm TV, and that's all there is today.